Ever wondered how to pack 400 years of American history, iconic eats, and picture-perfect New England charm into just 72 hours? If you're planning a weekend escape to Boston, I've got the ultimate itinerary that combines legendary landmarks, unforgettable food, and even a quick trip to where it all began, Plymouth Rock. Spoiler alert, it's smaller than you think, but its story is huge. Hey there, fellow travelers, I'm Jordan, and welcome to The Introverted Traveler. Boston may be known as the cradle of liberty, but did you know it's also home to the original Boston cream pie, and one of the oldest libraries in the country that's an architectural masterpiece? This weekend, I'm walking the historic Freedom Trail, exploring charming cobblestone streets like Acorn Street, indulging in a world-famous cannoli at Mike's Pastry, and even making a quick stop in Plymouth to visit America's humble beginnings. Stick around, because this journey will inspire your next great escape to Boston. On the first day of our trip to Boston, which was a half day of flying and check-in to the hotel, I spent the time walking to the Boston Common. The hotel I was staying at was in the north end of Boston, Battery Wharf Hotel Waterfront. If you want to see a room review, keep watching. On the way to Boston Common, we made a stop at Mike's Pastry to grab a cannoli. Mike's Pastry, nestled in Boston's historic North End, is a beloved bakery that has been serving sweets since 1946. Famous for its iconic blue and white boxes, Mike's is best known for its legendary cannoli, available in a variety of flavors like chocolate chip, pistachio, and amaretto. Beyond cannoli, the bakery offers a tempting array of Italian treats from lobster tails to tiramisu. With its vibrant atmosphere and lines often spilling onto Hanover Street, a visit to Mike's Pastry is a must for anyone craving a true taste of Boston's Italian heritage. So the question still remains, which is better, Mike's or modern? Honestly, after having both, I would say Mike's wins the cannoli contest. Leave a comment on who you think is the best. Just a short walk away from Mike's Pastry is Paul Revere's house, the oldest building in downtown Boston. Revere lived here when he made his famous midnight ride to warn that the British were coming. I know I might be going out of order on the Freedom Trail walk, but there is a park across from Paul Revere's house that you can sit down and eat the cannolis. Back to our walk to the Boston Common, to start the walk of the Freedom Trail. This park, dated back to 1634, is the oldest public park in the U.S. Imagine it, soldiers camping here during the Revolution, protests, celebrations. This place has seen it all. Grab some photos of the gorgeous park before we follow the red brick trail into history. Walking the Freedom Trail right now, making our way up through Boston Common to the State House up here. Checking it out. Next, we're at the Massachusetts State House, the building with the big gold dome on top. Designed by Charles Bulfinch in 1798, this building is where modern Massachusetts governance began. Don't forget to take a moment to appreciate the statues and the history of change that started right here. This is Park Street Church, famous for its role in abolitionist history. In 1829, William Lloyd Garrison delivered his fiery anti-slavery speech here. Oh, and during the War of 1812, the song "America, My Country 'Tis of Thee" was sung here for the first time. So much power packed into the steeple. This is the Granary burying ground, and it's absolutely humbling. This is the final resting place of Paul Revere, Samuel Adams, John Hancock, basically the crew that kick-started a revolution. Check out the gravestones. They're so intricate and tell their own stories of 18th century life.
So what's amazing is how many histories here from centuries and centuries ago still around. It's just amazing to see that it's kept up.
Up next, King's Chapel. This was Boston's first Anglican church, built in 1686. The proximity of religion and revolution is fascinating here. The burying ground beside it is even older. Some stones date back to the 1600s. It's like stepping into another world.
The very first governor of Massachusetts.
Ever heard of Ben Franklin? Of course you have. This spot honors him and marks the site of America's first public school. What's cool is that Franklin, a founding father, was a dropout here. Talk about rewriting your own story. Next up on the Freedom Trail, the old Corner Bookstore. This little bookstore started in 1718 and is where some of the most famous authors like Nathaniel Hawthorne and Henry David Thoreau once hung out. Now the building is just a reminder of what it used to be and has been turned into a Chipotle. Here we are at the Old South Meeting House. This is where over 5,000 colonists gathered to debate British taxes. Spoiler alert, the Boston Tea Party was planned here. If walls could talk, this place would have some serious tea to spill. This is the Old State House, a revolutionary hotspot. From the balcony here, the Declaration of Independence was first read to the people of Boston. Right outside is the Boston Massacre site, where British soldiers killed 5 colonists in 1770. It's a chilling reminder of how high the stakes were. Okay, history buffs, be at Faneuil Hall, the cradle of liberty. Speeches here fueled the fire of revolution, but today it's a mix of history and food paradise. Grab a lobster roll or clam chowder to keep your energy up. So I ran out of time on the first day, so I didn't get a chance to stop by Old North Church and also Copp's Hill Burying Ground. Honestly, I would like to do this again and actually spend a whole day going inside the buildings and churches. If you plan on doing this, be sure to reserve a day. But on my way from Faneuil Hall, we passed by Union Oyster House, which is the oldest continuously operating restaurant in the United States, serving diners since 1826. Didn't get to stop in, but maybe next time. But I did get to stop in the Bell and Hen Tavern for an appetizer and a drink. The Bell and Hen Tavern holds the title of America's oldest continuously operating bar, first opening its doors in 1795. It's a small bar, so seating can be limited, but the vibe on the inside is great. As it was getting late and we needed to walk back to the hotel, we decided to call it a night because tomorrow would be a long day again. So here's a look at the hotel that we stayed at. It was nice, close to the North End, which is a vibrant area for food and drinks. I think when I come here next time, I might stay somewhere close to Faneuil Hall. If you have a place that you like to stay, leave a comment below. onto day 2 and waking up and walked into the Omni Parker's house, home of the original Boston cream pie. The Omni Parker House, located in the heart of downtown Boston, is a historic luxury hotel with a legacy dating back to 1855, making it the longest continuously operating hotel in the United States. From there, we decided to try out Boston's public transportation. We took the train to the Boston Public Library to see the first large, free municipal library in the U.S., founded in 1848. Wow, this place shows its history. From walking into the front door and the grand staircase, it was breathtaking. I can only imagine being a student at a college in Boston, coming here to do research and studies. After we got done exploring the Boston Public Library, we took an Uber to the airport to pick up a rental car so I can make my way down to Plymouth the next day. But on the way back, we stopped by the U.S.S. Constitution on Bunker Hill to sort of finish the Freedom Trail. And here she is, Old Ironsides herself, the U.S.S. Constitution. This warship, built in 1797, is the oldest commissioned naval vessel still afloat. It earned its nickname during the War of 1812 when cannonballs were said to bounce right off its hull. Step aboard and you'll feel the grit and determination of sailors who fought for freedom. Pro tip, don't skip the museum nearby. It's packed with fascinating artifacts. Finally reached the Bunker Hill Monument. If you feel like climbing the 294 steps to the top, feel free to do so. This commemorates one of the first major battles of the American Revolution.
So that's it. That's the end of the Freedom Trail. I missed a couple places because it started raining yesterday, but we finally made it to the Bunker Hill and finished the trail. We did not go up it because I need some food in my body. But I can just imagine peering over the hill without these houses here, looking into the sea and kind of guarding and stuff like that.
This pretty much finishes day 2, as we had dinner that night at Mamma Maria Italian restaurant. I didn't bring my camera with me because I was wanting to just enjoy the evening, but again, the restaurants in the North End had the perfect vibe for drinks and food. Plus, Mamma Maria had really amazing food and drinks to eat and excellent service. It's a must if you are ever in Boston. On to day 3, our last day, as we drove down to Plymouth to see the small rock that has some significance to this country. Legend says that it's the rock where the Pilgrims first stepped on from the Mayflower, but the park ranger there says it was used to tie off the smaller boats and also used for navigation, because the Mayflower is anchored about 1 to 2 miles outside of Plymouth.
The Mayflower was too big, it was anchored out 1.5 miles.
Also in Plymouth is the Mayflower too, a replica of the original Mayflower. Can you just imagine sailing on the Mayflower across the Atlantic Ocean? It'll have your sea legs. As we returned back to Boston after a fun time in Plymouth, we made our way to Cheers Bar for some drinks, and then headed to Acorn Street. Welcome to Acorn Street, the most photographed street in Boston, and it's easy to see why. Tucked away in the historic Beacon Hill neighborhood, this picturesque gem is like stepping into a time capsule. The cobblestones you're walking on, they date back to the early 19th century, when this street was home to artisans and tradespeople. And just like that, our 72-hour adventure in Boston comes to an end. We're walking the historic Freedom Trail to indulging in iconic treats at Mike's Pastry, standing in awe of the Boston Public Library, and even stepping into the birthplace of America at Plymouth Rock. This city has nothing short of unforgettable. Boston isn't just a destination, it's a living storyboard of resilience, revolution, and irresistible charm. If you're ready for more adventures filled with history, culture, and hidden gems from around the world, hit that subscribe button and join me on The Introverted Traveler. Let's keep exploring one amazing city at a time. See you in the next video.